Hello, today we'll discuss the different patterns of non-Mendelian inheritance. Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance. So what's the difference between the two? Mendelian traits are traits that are passed down by dominant and recessive alleles of one gene. For example, we have here a red flower and a white flower. The offspring of the two flowers red or white flower. So in Mendelian traits, the dominant and recessive alleles control the trait of the offspring. However, in non-Mendelian, these are traits that can be controlled by more than one gene. So example, we have here a white flower and a red flower. So the offspring of these both flowers is a pink flower. So if you can see, the traits of the parents blend. So this involved two genes, which is red and white. Another example, there's a tendency that the offspring will look like this. Okay, if we can see in the offspring, the traits of the parents are expressed, so they are both evident in the offspring. So in non-Mendelian traits, the dominant and recessive rule is not followed. The first type of non-Mendelian inheritance is incomplete dominance. In incomplete dominance, a heterozygote shows a phenotype that is intermediate between the two homozygous phenotypes. Neither allele is dominant over the other. By the way, if you're not familiar with the terms like the phenotype, the homozygous, or the heterozygous, you may watch this video. And it talks about the different terms in genetics. Okay, so let's continue. In the incomplete dominance, we have here the red flower. We have here the red flower. Okay, and the white flower. So their offspring is a pink flower. In the incomplete dominance, the traits of the parents blend. Okay. Okay, so let's try to solve this problem. Red and pink tulips are crossed with each other. What are the possible phenotypes and genotypes? What is the probability of producing a red, white, and pink tulips? So in our problem, we have here the red tulip with the genotype homozygous, dominant, R and R. And for the pink tulip, we have here the genotype RW, which is heterozygous. What are the possible phenotypes and genotypes? Okay, so to answer the question, we have to create a Punnett square first. Okay, and then we have to write the genotypes of the parent. So let's have here the red tulip, which is the homozygous dominant R. So let's write here the genotype. Okay, and then for the pink tulip, we have here the RW. So we will put the genotype here at the top. Okay, now let's complete the Punnett square. So we have here the red allele and another red allele. Next box. We have here the RW. So if you write WR, don't worry, it means the same thing. So it is equivalent to color pink as well. In writing the genotypes, the dominant allele should be written first and followed by recessive. So for example, we have here dominant R and recessive W. Okay. Do not write the recessive allele first, then followed by dominant allele. So this is wrong. Okay. This is wrong. So in writing the genotypes, just remember that the dominant allele should be written first. Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue our Punnett square here. So we have here the R and another R. And for the last one, we have here the red allele and the white allele. Okay, we're done with the Punnett square. Now, we will answer the possible phenotypes and genotypes. So, what are the possible genotypes? So, according to the Punnett square, we have here a homozygous dominant RR. So, let's write here. We have the homozygous dominant RR. And the next one we have here RW, which is heterozygous. And what else? Okay, so we have here another RR and RW, so they are just the same. So we have only two genotypes. Okay, so what are the phenotypes? So we have here the homozygous dominant RR. What is the color of this genotype? So it is red. Okay, we have here red phenotype. And for the RW, so this is color pink. Okay, so the genotypes are homozygous dominant RR, and we have here heterozygous, which is RW, and the phenotypes red and pink. Okay. Now, let's answer the probability. So, what is the probability of producing a red, white, and pink tulips? So, let's answer first the red. Okay, so let's have here the red. Now, what is the probability? So to answer that question, we will use again our Punnett square, and remember that each square of our diagram is equivalent to 25%. So for example here, in our first box is equivalent to 25%, 25%, another 25%, 25%, and 25%. Total of 100%. So according to our Punnett square, what is the probability of producing red? So take a look at the genotypes here. For the red genotype, we have here the homozygous dominant RR and another homozygous dominant RR here. So this is equivalent to 25% plus 25%. We have here there is a 50% chance of having a red tulip. How about the white? Do you see a genotype for a white allele? Okay, there's none. So 0 probability. So there's no chance of having a white tulip. And lastly, we have here the pink. Okay, for the pink, we have here the RW. So we have two boxes here containing the genotype RW. So we have 50%. So this is the probability. Let's have the codominance. Codominance is a condition when two dominant traits are expressed at the same time, producing a third phenotype. So for example here, we have here a red cow and a white bull. Their offspring is a roan cow. You can see here the traits of the parent are expressed in the offspring. So we can see the red color and a white color. So they are coexist in the offspring. Another example here, we have here the white chicken, and we have here a black one. Offspring is a speckled chicken. Okay, we can recognize the white color and the black color at the same time. So that is codominance. So let's solve a problem involving the codominance. Our own bull, which is heterozygous, RW, is mated with a white cow, homozygous dominant, WW. What are the possible genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring? And what is the probability of having a red, white, and roan cattle? So same process to solve this problem. We're going to create a Punnett square. Okay, and then write the genotypes of the parent. So first, let's write this got RW, which is roan, and we have here a white cow. Okay, so let's complete our Punnett square. So we got here the R, W, R, W, 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 and another W, W. Okay, now what are the possible genotypes? So the genotypes, so let's write genotypes. Okay, based on the Punnett square, we have here RW, so RW, and the WW. So we only have 2 genotypes. And for the phenotypes, so let's write phenotypes here. Phenotypes. Okay, so the phenotypes. So RW means our own cattle. Okay, and for the second genotype, which is WW, the phenotype for this is white. Don't get confused when we say cattle. So this is a broad term, and for the male cattle, it is called a bull. However, for the female, we have here the cow. Okay, so the genotypes are W and WW, and for the phenotypes we have a roan and a white cattle. Okay, next, what is the probability of having a red cattle? So let's write here a red cattle. So based on the Punnett square, do we have here a genotype for red? Okay, none. So it's 0. Okay, and for the white, so again each box is equivalent to 25%. Do we have here genotype for white? Okay, yes, we have here the WW and another homozygous dominant WW. So we have 2 equivalent to 50%. And last one, we have here a roan. Roan, we have here the RW and RW as well. Total of 50%. Okay, so let's have the last type of non-Mendelian inheritance. We have here the multiple alleles. More than 2 alleles control the inheritance of a character. So this involves 2 or more alleles. So our example for multiple alleles is the blood type. You can see here for the phenotype, so blood type A, blood type B, blood type AB, and blood type O. And for the genotypes, okay, so for the genotypes, for the blood type A, we have 2. We have here homozygous, dominant, IA, and heterozygous. I means isohemagglutinin. So in our blood types, it is controlled by 3 alleles, which is the IA, or the dominant IA, the dominant IB, and the recessive I. So here are the 3 alleles that control the blood type. Okay, so again, for the genotypes of blood type A, we have 2. So we have homozygous, dominant IA, and heterozygous. Because we have here a recessive I. And for the B, we have here homozygous, dominant IB, and the heterozygous one. And for the blood type AB, we have here codominance. So we have here I, A, and IB. And for the O, this is homozygous recessive. Okay, so for the recessive I, that's for the O. Okay, so let's solve a problem. Okay, so we have here a man with type A blood, which is heterozygous. Okay, going back here in the chart, again, for the blood type A, it has 2 genotypes, which is homozygous, dominant IA, and the heterozygous. In the problem, heterozygous is given. Okay, marries a woman who has type O blood, which is homozygous recessive. This is the genotype. Okay, what are the possible blood types of their baby? So first step, we're going to create again a Punnett square. Okay, Punnett square. Sorry. Okay, then step 2, you have to write the genotypes of the parents. So for the first one, we got heterozygous for blood type A. So we have here dominant IA and recessive I. And for the for the second parent, we have here homozygous recessive I for the blood type O. Okay, so let's complete our Punnett square. So we have here dominant IA and recessive I. Again, write the dominant allele first before the recessive. Okay? So let us answer. What are the possible blood types of their baby? So using the Punnett square, we have to write the genotypes. Okay, so the genotypes. How many kinds of genotypes do you see in the Punnett square? We only have 2, which is the heterozygous and the homozygous recessive. So let's write. We have here the and the recessive. Now, what are the possible blood types? So based on the Punnett square, we have only 2 genotypes, and the first genotype here, which is heterozygous IA and recessive I, this is a blood type A. Okay, and for the second genotype, we have here homozygous recessive I, which is type O blood. Okay, so the possible blood types of the baby are blood type A and blood type O. So I hope you have learned something from this video, and if you have questions, just type your queries here in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.